What's up, everybody? This is the Anime Squad Podcast, episode 32. My name is Robbie.
And this is Omar.
And this is David.
And today, before we start things off, I want to mention that we finally have our characters, as you can see in our video right here. All this, and of course our OC that has been in our videos for the past 2 weeks now, is all the art and all that have been courtesy of Tai. She's our artist that we commissioned to have all this done, and we're gonna leave her Twitter handle on the description. Description below, as well as just kind of like give you guys a little visual of that Twitter handle as well, so you guys can check her out.
Yeah, and leave a comment to what you guys think of our new designs and our OC and all that good stuff.
I think we look great.
Yes, we look fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's get to
the anime. First off, we're gonna be tackling is RWBY Season 8, Episode 2.
Episode 2.
And in this episode, stuff happens.
Yeah, a lot of setup, a lot of explaining of what I guess again what everyone's doing at this point.
And the mantle.
Yeah, mantle. You got Yang. Still getting the special treat that the doctor guy was making for the team. And what was it, Robbie? What were these treats that he left behind for Yang and the group?
Oh, it's it's the fact that the what was it? The tubes. It's basically portable airways to basically send stuff into Atlus.
Yes,
those are the treats.
And the gadgets. There was some speed bikes.
Speed bikes, yeah.
Yeah, so Yang's loving it because she reminds her of her bike. And the other guys are just trying to
pull together, get the refugees to a safe place, which some of the people don't exactly necessarily align with, because they think like, oh, the slums? Oh, that's a trash place. That's where the trash goes.
Yeah, I'm royalty. I should go up with Atlus. Why is Atlus not coming down with us?
No, because Atlus don't care about you.
So yeah, the people have no choice, down to the slums where everyone could be safe. Everyone could keep an eye on each other.
Yep.
That is down there. And while Yang and group are doing that, we see what RWBY and group is doing, which Robbie mentioned. The tubes.
Tubes.
They go to like a warehouse kind of place, and luckily the machines that are there, they're not with Atlus military. They're just independent robots that are under Weiss's company.
Yeah.
And then, Weiss owns everything and Mantle and stuff. So money and influence and all that kind of helps. Yeah, most definitely. And there's some cute jokes there too with Weiss and Blake, and then when they get into the tube, how they're gonna infiltrate into Atlus.
Yeah, Weiss kind of already had a head start.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, and I forgot to mention we finally see Uncle Crow and the other prisoners in there.
Oh yeah.
And they're
not looking too great.
No, they're all
Crow. If you thought Crow was depressed last season or the past 2 seasons, oh boy.
Oh man, he's super depressed. He hardly says a word in this episode, but you can just tell.
Yeah.
He's sad, and then Robin's on the screen. And that was mostly it until the ending, of the episode, which is basically the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah. Cool. So as the Yang crew is going where they need to go to, Oscar gets attacked.
Yes, by a very specific Grim that was shown last episode, which I don't know if we covered or not, but Salem gave a scent to this Grim creature to go track Oscar, and now he's on the target. He's right on the dot. And they don't know what to do against this Grim because it's super smart.
It's super smart, and it can transform.
Yes, into anything that very convenient to him, like grow arms.
Grow arms or grow wings.
Yes.
And so with that, our heroes are trying to rescue Oscar from the clutches of this Grim, and that's where the episode actually ends.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing much really happened in this episode other than that ending. So we'll see how Yang and the group try to get Oscar back.
Yep.
On to the next anime we got. The Great Pretender, episode 22, our only Netflix anime.
Only Netflix anime, and soon about to be zero because we're getting there.
Yes, this is the second to last episode, and I'll talk more about it in the last episode. But yeah, this is like the climax.
Yeah, we're here, baby.
Yes, everything's down. This is what we're waiting for. The two big groups meeting up with each other, and basically they're gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
So it's the big setup, it's the big plan, Makoto, and everybody just ready for it, and it's non-stop action and pace with it on the deal itself, because they do the whole procedure wise of checking each other, no suspicions, and no one trying to kill each other, it's all business. And when the Chinese people, they get there, and I like how he's like right away, he's like he has his ring ready to go to just poison the old lady, and she was like, I don't respect you like that. And I liked it too in that episode, because he saw the chair, and I feel like he already knew.
He knew, yeah.
He was like, this old lady.
Yeah, she got plans.
Yeah, and it was crazy, the whole episode, and how Laurent planned it all.
Yeah, but so we were basically going to see a setup of like the police raids coming in. They're like, "Oh, drop your weapons right now! Oh, we got you right where you want, right where we want you," and all that stuff. And right as that was going on, basically it's because the parallel I was kind of making was that this kind of reminded me of like the first arc with Eddie Kasano, and like how the police raids kind of happened with that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was getting like huge vibes with that one, but for some reason Makoto was like not having any of that. He's like, no, I could tell, I know exactly who these guys are, and like he basically rats everybody out. Yeah. It's like, yeah, these guys, they don't even have real guns. They're just trying to trick y'all. Yeah,
because all the money is there. There's like a big old check of like $1 billion check, and a briefcase of Chinese money.
Yeah, and at that moment, Laurent also kind of like reveals himself as like not part of the Chinese mafia. Like he double crosses them. Yeah. He straight up beats up the Chinese mafia, dude. He's like straight up just like shoulder throws him and everything, and like even like quote unquote poisons him with the needle. He's like, oh no, the poison!
I like that, because it shows Laurent like he's already there. He's already it's in the works already. So like nothing, everything goes, and Makoto's just. He's not part of this. He's
not part of it, and in fact, like he's like he even like outs out Oz, and he's just like he gets the sword that the Japanese mafia lady had, and he just straight up is like ready to kill him with it too.
Yeah, and we also forgot to mention since Makoto has his own little group, and like you said,
remember how I brought up Eddie Kasano? Guess what? He's in this one.
He's in this raid as well, helping Makoto out. And they have real guns.
Yeah. Straight up.
So yeah, things are not looking good for anybody at this point. It just looks like Makoto's about to kill his own father at this point. But like he goes on like a mini rant, and then to myself when I was watching, I was like, just shoot Makoto. Let's just take the money or whatever. But they let him have his moment, and like
they didn't shoot him.
Yeah, they didn't shoot him at all.
Oz like straight up just gut slashes him.
Yeah, straight up kills his own son.
Yeah.
And then it hits the fan. Like bullets are flying everywhere, a bunch of commotions. The bosses get out of there as soon as possible, and like it's just they close the door behind all the gangs, and just chaos is happening. And they try to go on the elevator, because it's the fastest way to get down to the building.
Nothing's
working.
And we wonder why that is. And then they go inside the doors, like trying to see like if they eliminated each other and everything.
There was no more noise. They all stopped. And they go in there.
Everybody's gone.
Not a single dead body.
Makoto, Laurent, everybody, even Eddie Kasano, everybody's just gone.
Yeah, they just vanished. Like magic.
They're like, wait, what? what the hell's going on? And then like the picture on that's on the chair, like right behind the chair, like falls down, and there's like a lever. Like what the hell?
Like a classic.
The lever wasn't there before.
Like a classic pull switch or whatever, like in those cartoons. And they pull it, and they go all the way down to somewhere.
Yeah, it turns out they found the elevator, just not the one that they were thinking of.
Yeah, so once they get out of this contraption, they're in like in the middle of an island.
Yeah. They're in the beach, and the funniest part was like when the Chinese mafia is like the leader, when he sneezed, all of a sudden the whole building just came tumbling down.
I was like, what? And then that's how it ends.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I wish we watched the last episode, but
we got one more episode. Yeah. We're gonna find out how this heist was even done in the first place.
Exactly.
And with that, the conclusion of the whole series.
Like it's like right now I'm dumbfounded, but I'm also like I want to see how they pull this off.
Definitely. All right, and now we can move on to the next anime. We move on to Fire Force. Episode 20, The Bloodbath.
Yes. I have the death list on this one.
Yeah. Alright, so remember the last episode we were talking about, we're going to the Nether. Well, they go to the Nether, they check it out, kind of see what's going on. And hey, it's kind of like season 1. Remember when they went to the underground subway, check that out. Everybody was fine and dandy. They got some few fair share of battles and stuff.
Yeah, fair blows against the White Clad.
Here's the thing, all the people from the first season that went in were all main characters.
Yeah.
This one had a whole bunch of people from the second company. We don't know anything about them.
None at all.
So yeah, I think you guys know where this is gonna go.
If you know this reference, a bunch of red shirts came in into the void.
Yeah. And they got their shit rocked. They got decimated.
It was crazy how much blood and like kind of gore that was showing in this episode particularly, because I didn't think they would go that far.
Yeah, they went super far.
So yeah, I like to mention the death list, the death count on
Omar,
this one.
Omar, this is all you, baby.
All right, so they get in there and they find infernals, and they're getting rocked. So Jonas is the first one to go down, and
tell him his story. Tell the audience his story.
So after this mission, he was gonna get married and have a family and stuff, but that's not happening. He dies, and Anton's there to save him though. He picks him up and he's like, he's all good.
What's Anton's story?
Oh, that oh man, I don't remember Anton's story.
The pregnant wife.
Oh yes, a pregnant wife's gonna have a kid. You know, it's beautiful, but he also dies. And then we see another character. He has no name, but I like to call him Jordan, Air Jordans, because in his flashback, he can't wear his new sneakers that he just bought. But he gets stabbed by Anton, and then soon we find out that the white clad girl, the blue hair, I forget her name.
Name on the screen.
Yes, but the one that could control the dead.
Yeah, from the last arc with the huge infernal monster.
Yeah, she's taking control of all the dead Fire Force members.
She's like a necromancer.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. And our boy, the scientist, dude, I forget his name.
Licht.
Yeah, Licht. He's with one of the second company. We just got introduced to him, and he gets killed automatically. Like, I forget his name too. The one they just shot off.
He has big eyebrows.
Yeah, he has big eyebrows, and he's just going back. He needs to find someone from his company because the second company is just dying left and right. And yeah, but the whole episode after that kill count is with Juggernaut and Tamaki
and
Hajiki.
Hajiki, yeah. Hajiki. So this one, we have our named character with this one.
Yes.
And this guy is like amazingly like just crazy.
Yes.
Like, okay, so Hajiki is Juggernaut's senpai. He's a superior, and he has a weird thing where he like kind of forgets everything. Like he has short-term memory loss or whatever. When he first got into the Fire Force, he put himself as unpowered. But his actual power is that he could be able to see thermals, like thermal readings and stuff.
Yeah, kind of like the Predator.
Yeah, except it's just in one person, which is badass.
Yes.
And the way he was killing all the infernals left and right was just insane and crazy. Yeah. He was cool. It was badass.
Yeah, he was super cool. Like for a guy that does not know his power, it's really cool.
Yeah. But then we got a little reminder, like a JoJo-like reminder, with part 3 with this fellow named Cream, Vanilla Ice.
Oh yes. That it don't. Your life
don't work out sometimes.
Yeah, if you don't expect an enemy approaching, your life could end just like that.
And it did with him.
Unfortunately.
Because White Clad member that was with him, she goes by the name of Orochi, just immediately just slices off his head.
Yes.
Just done.
Yes. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, damn. They just murdered him.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was about to murder Tamaki too.
Yes.
Because the whips, thankfully Tamaki has innate resistances and stuff to her whip attacks and all that. It's like she doesn't lose limbs or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was about to die, and right when she was calling out for Shinra's help for whatever reason, because Shinra, she was getting the same thing.
She was losing it.
She was losing it. And Juggernaut comes in and bam, just comes in for the save.
Yeah, he finally comes in to save the day. He's trying to be the real Fire Force that he wanted to be, and it's an amazing battle that Juggernaut and Orochi have.
It was amazing. For me personally, it was kind of hard for me to take it seriously because it kind of uses the same thing as the Chinese Peninsula arc where Juggernaut's apparently he has the reason why he's so big is because he has 100 layers of different clothes. So every time one his arm comes off, he just kind of grows back.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's silly, but but you said there's a lot of animation going on, a lot of stuff going on, and it just all around just looks great. Animation wise, it looks amazing.
It looks so good. It looks crisp. And when all said is done, Juggernaut tries to do the final blow against Orochi when he makes a nuclear bomb fire thingy, and it's a beautiful scene in that moment when she's just slicing his arms left and right until he runs out of layers.
Yeah,
you finally see his real arm, and then perfect moment, just puts the bomb right to her face and just explosion and killing Orochi, but also leaving Juggernaut, I think, dead as well.
Probably, most likely.
Because he did the look back at Tamaki moment. And
so
explosion in the face.
So yeah, things all around were looking kind of grim.
Yes.
So we don't know, but hey, he was able to finish off the enemy.
Yeah.
Her face literally just caved in on itself. Yeah, it was a bloodbath.
Super bloodbath, and that very changed the tempo of Fire Force.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. On to the next
anime. On to the next anime, yeah.
Not bloody. more of the sweet side of this one. Adachi versus Adachi to Shimamura, episode 6. And today is a day where
we get the Christmas date. Oh,
the Christmas date, and Adachi's she's panicking because she needs the perfect gift for Shimamura. She needs to find the one gift, and luckily enough, one of her friends, I'm forgetting her name.
Migafuji?
Yes, her. She also needs a gift too, or she wants to help her out.
Yeah.
Since she's by herself for once, and she's like, I want to get to know you more, and then I'll help you on this journey of finding the perfect gift. Mm-hmm. And it's very sweet, very wholesome. We get to see both these characters interact more.
Yeah.
That we hardly get to see, and it's cute. It's very humble, and they're in the mall, and they stumble upon who, Robbie?
Shimamura and Migafuji. Adachi, yeah. So Adachi was also hanging out with Migafuji's friend. Name on the screen. So she was just kind of trying to get ideas on her end regarding kind of what's going on with in the mall, all that stuff. And right when that was going on, she notices Shimamura hanging out with Migafuji. So immediately I was thinking, oh man, we're getting some against the suspicions rising. It's like, oh, what's going on and stuff.
Getting some sauce.
Yeah. But no, thankfully, that wasn't the case. It gets cleared up pretty much on the same episode.
Yes.
That like on the day of the Christmas on the day of Christmas, when Shimamura comes and they hang out, they have a great time.
Yeah.
And then Adachi's under. She was wearing her Chinese outfit from the restaurant.
Why? Why was she wearing that?
She thought she looked super cute. Shimamura said that like, oh, you look really cute when you wear it, and so she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear it underneath.
Honestly, I thought that was very cute.
It was, yeah.
I was like, oh, but kind of weird for Christmas Day.
It is very weird. It kind of makes her kind of look like weird, especially since she wears like that overcoat, like over her Chinese outfit. It's just like really weird. Yeah, no, they have a great time, and right when Shimamura was like giving gifts and stuff, she gives Adachi a boomerang, and the reason why she got the boomerang in the first place was because Mikafuji was actually helping Shimamura like look out for gifts and stuff, and that's when the boomerang came up.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm pretty sure she'll like boomerangs.
Yeah, everybody loves boomerangs.
It's a fun toy.
And so yeah, they take that baby for a spin outside of the park, tossing boomerangs and stuff. Shimamura teaching Adachi the way of how to like throw one and stuff. And right when we get to that penultimate like moment, Adachi's like how to pop the questions like, yes. Hey, I like you, like, and going that
like you.
But how did she flub it up? Well, she said she wants to be her friend. But wait, we're already friends. No, but we're gonna be best friends.
Oh no! Why, Adachi? Why'd you best friend zone yourself? So yeah, she chickens out again.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that it was a cute Christmas day they spent together.
Yeah. And we gotta mention it here, we also got the alien again, hanging out with Shimamura's younger sister.
I completely forgot about that. But it
was a scene. It was a scene, but the reason why this is worth mentioning is because at the final part of that scene, when the alien was like, doing her hangout or whatever, listening to Shimamura's sister's recorder and stuff like that, she's like, oh, I gotta go, they're having a sale's about to end, and she does this weird little like shimmy dance, and she's like,
yeah, it's so random, it's so weird, but I feel like I'm gonna see it later on in the video.
Yeah.
Like in a meme compilation or something.
It's amazing. It's adorable. Really unnecessary, but you know what? It was just worth mentioning.
Yeah, that's how that episode ends.
Yeah, that's how the episode ends. And now we move on to Majo no Tabitabi, episode 7.
Also known as the one in which the Journey of Elaina.
The Journey of Elaina. And so, alright, so time to play that game again. Is this a sad episode or a happy episode?
And the answer is
happy episode.
Yeah, it was pretty normal, honestly.
Yeah.
It was pretty normal. Well, the subject matter was there's 2 stories in this episode.
Yeah, kind of like episode 3.
Yes, and they both tackle the same subject of two sides. They don't like each other. They don't like each other, and they want nothing to do with each other.
So the funny thing is that the first story actually has very little to do with Elaina, which is funny because I thought that was Elaina at first when they first showed her. Yeah, because they showed a witch that had the same clothes, same hair, and everything, but Omar noticed that they had different voices.
Yes.
They were not played by the same girl, and as that story was going on, they also cut to Elaina when she was a kid, listening to the stories that her mom was telling her about a wandering witch that went to a country, and the exact same thing that's going on over here, where the witch that first shows up. So basically, the setup is that there's a country that's divided by a wall, very similar to something like the Berlin Wall, and one side has this guy who's very much like I guess they're both like very proud. They're both very proud of their country, but specifically their side of the country. Yeah. And this witch that looks like Elaina was writing in a message with a knife saying that like, oh, this side of the country is the best. And the same exact story that she uses in this one, in this side, she also uses it on the second side as well. And that obviously propped up a sense of pride within each person in each country. Just writing messages and stuff on the wall.
It reminded me like there is a place in the real world, like there's a bridge and where people leave love locks.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of,
that.
because that was kind of like the whole thing. Like people that travel around the world leave their mark on it, and I thought it was very cool. It was a very creative way of, you know, both sides are basically the same.
Right. But the weird thing, the weird twist about this is that, like, as people are writing down, you know, their pride for the country, as time went on, people went back on their promises, and they were like, "Oh no, this is stupid. I'm gonna erase what's going on here.
I'm not even married to her no more."
Oh, this is awful. And as they're doing it, they poke holes through the wall.
And they see that there's two sides on this wall.
Yeah.
And
they decided, you know what? Break down the wall. We're doing it.
Yep.
Oddly enough, though, this bit also has a special appearance of Saya, who's not a major character in this episode, sadly.
No.
But I guess during her travels, she wound up in the country, and she was like, "Oh, Elaina, I love Elaina." And she was writing that down a whole bunch everywhere. Yeah, that was pretty adorable. But yeah, by the time Elaina actual Elaina shows up, she's like, "What's going on here? Like, where? I thought this country was supposed to have like a wall or something like that. What's going on here?" So she meets up with the two people who's apparently now 10 years older. So they're like, you know, kind of older men now. And they said, "Oh, you're the witch from 10 years ago. But wait a minute. Why do you look younger for some reason than you did 10 years ago?" She's like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." And yeah, that's when she found out about the story about what happened with the wall.
My question to you is, like, is that like her look based off of that witch?
Oh, like a JoJo Part 4 scenario with with Josuke and the man who saved him when he was 4?
Yeah, you know?
I think so. I want to also imagine that, like, maybe the story might set up that, like, she's somehow invented time traveling so that way she could go back in time and, like, actually travel more, like, between time periods. Maybe.
Interesting theory you got there.
I mean, it's a world of magic, so, I think time travel in a place where magic exists isn't something that's totally out of the charts. I feel like there might be some kind of validity to that. Maybe she wanted to see what this country was like when the country had walls. Yeah, exactly. And so that's the reason why she, you know, after she saw, oh, this place doesn't have walls, she figures out how to time travel and she goes back in time and checks it out. That's my theory. And that's how she wrote the book, which later inspired
herself.
Yeah.
It all comes down together. Yeah. But yeah, that's how.
That was the first story.
Yeah, the first story, and then the second story is a bit more funnier.
This one's great.
About two villages called that. And
this village and that village.
Great names.
It's literally what it's called. Yeah, and it actually starts off. With this woman that's you know, stomping on grapes and stuff, and an older man who's sitting there with, like, his son, talking about a story of their past, of the village's past.
Yes, of them having a tradition of throwing grapes at each other. Mm-hmm. And he basically tells how it all unraveled.
And so Elaina comes to the land of this village where she could finally try her very first taste of alcohol.
Yes. Delicious wine.
Yeah, because up until this point, Elaina had not tried alcohol at all.
Yeah.
But she wanted her first experience to be a very pleasant one.
Yes, the best of the best.
Yep, and the way she does it is to go to a village that specializes in alcohol.
Yep.
Unfortunately, she landed on the wrong village, surprisingly. But that doesn't stop the village chief, who is not just him, but, like, the people of that village, the men of the village in particular, who love the neighboring village's wine. You guys want to know the reason why?
Why?
It's because the grapes of that village. Nothing interesting about the grapes. It's who stomps on the grapes.
The advertisement of the wine.
It's the most beautiful woman of that village, who goes by the name of Rosemary. She personally stomps on all the grapes.
Oh my god.
So all of the wine that you are drinking from that particular village, all the grapes are all stomped by her.
Damn. She must do a lot of work.
She does, yeah. And this is the true pride and joy of everybody of this village and that village. And why that village has such amazing wine is because it is stomped by a beautiful goddess.
Yes. So, that village is trying to have their own, beautiful woman to have plastered on the wine bottles. And luckily enough, Elaina comes in. Yes. And she serves the purpose. Yes. She fits the criteria, and she's gonna be the poster girl.
Hell yeah.
But Rosemary, as already mentioned, she comes into that village and she just shit talks.
Absolutely. She has no confidence. She's like, what? You really think a thin girl like her is gonna have any chance of producing such quality grapes, some quality wine like that village does? I don't think so. You're not gonna be able to make any kind of quality like I do.
Honestly, she looks like a child.
Yeah. She looks like a child. No. She is a child. And that sense of competition tips off Elaina so hard, she just stomps away.
She's stomping the yard with grapes.
Yeah. And oddly enough, that night, it's like she's tired, for obvious reasons. And somehow she's like, you know what? I want to check out the competition. I want to see how she could be able to stomp out all these grapes. Yeah. If it tires me out doing this much, how the hell does she does it?
Yeah, exactly.
So they go in, they infiltrate the other village, and it turns out
it's not even her, dude.
It's not even her.
False advertisement.
She commissions the other dudes of the village to stomp on the grapes. And unfortunately, the village chief of this village, heart absolutely broken. He was a broken man when he found out.
Yeah, because he's not drinking, from her. It's from this village.
Yeah.
Which is, what the hell? False advertisement here, man. Yeah. So it ticks everybody off, and that's
when the grape war started.
Yes.
The throwing of the grapes.
And it looks so much fun, though, when you see it.
It does, yeah.
It's just, it's so innocent, so fun.
They're throwing grapes, and Elaina gets that good wine going. She's full on drunk, and with her magic, she just tosses grapes.
Yes.
Literally machine gun tosses all these grapes.
These grapes turn into grape bullets.
They turn from grapes into grapes of wrath. And as the night continues and the morning comes, Elaina disappears.
Yeah,
But with that, the two villages have kind of come to peace.
Yes, this and that village become one village. The village.
The village. Rosemary and the village chief, they look at each other and that's the story of How I Met Your Mother.
Great reference.
Pretty much, yeah.
Great reference.
The child of that story, the child listening to the story, he's like, oh, whatever happened to Rosemary? It's like, well, that's a story for another time. And then we see Rosemary right there.
Exactly.
Stomping on the grapes. And that was the episode.
Very, very humble.
Very humble episode.
And a nice message to it at the end.
It was a funny episode. It was heartwarming all around. And yeah, it was just another great episode.
Another solid episode from the solid show.
Yeah, honestly, again, they're very much slice, once, not monster of the week, but situation of the week kind of scenarios. But they're just great. You get to learn. That's a fantastic way of learning how the world works and just everything.
A very good episodic anime.
Mm-hmm.
And on to the next one, which is not episodic.
And Omar, take it away.
it's I'm Standing with 1 Million Lives, episode 7.
Yeah, and I've specifically labeled this as Flashback Central.
Yes, because oh my god, this episode, I don't have nice things to say about it.
No,
it's all over the place. So first off, our main character, he's still stuck in the hole. Mm-hmm. So we have a whole couple minutes dedicated to him escaping from that hole, when he has flashbacks of
of the symbolic hole that he was in.
Exactly. But
like how not cool he was. Oh man, we got a group of 5. Hey guys, get Yotsuya in here.
Yeah.
Oh, Yotsuya? Oh man, he sucks. He stinks.
Do I have to have him in my group? Yeah, all that jazz. But he's able to escape the hole after dying a couple times
without a shirt.
Yes. And he tries to go back to the group, and he sees a log point up ahead, and
oh no.
Yes, no. I'm about to say it. No. One of the side characters dies.
No!
And they did say his name, but I honestly did not want to write it down in my notes because he honestly did not matter.
So I apologize for anybody that had a very specific attachment to this character. I know, I understand you guys are buying the figures of this character, but unfortunately we did not write his name down due to the fact that we thought, he wasn't really that important.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna just call him Guard 1.
Guard 1. And Guard 1 unfortunately did not survive the ordeal. He was unfortunately killed by...
By what, Robbie? What did he get killed by?
We don't know.
We don't know at all.
We don't know. That's the weird thing. Because at first we were like, oh, it must be the gargoyle.
Yeah.
But wait a minute.
This log point.
This happened before the gargoyle.
Yeah, and when we finished the episode, I was like, what? When I was writing down the notes, I was like, what did he get killed by? They didn't even explain it, so he just died like off screen, which is the worst way to show
That's
anybody.
how you know he's really important.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He died.
He died from indigestion. It's medieval times. They didn't have the technology.
Exactly, and it's just my god.
So yeah, so he died somehow.
And
Cavill and Yu. They're both fighting the gargoyle.
Yes.
And Yuka and Koetsu. What are they? They're fighting the bats.
They're fighting the small bats.
They're just waving their,
yes.
their sword and stick around.
And Guard 2. Guard 2's there too.
Oh yeah, what was he doing? He was also moving.
Yeah, just moving his sword. And obviously the real MVP of this group is Cavill, because she knows how to wield a sword.
Yeah, she gets a blow in, but unfortunately she gets stabbed through the stomach.
Yes.
And then falls into her watery grave.
Yes.
Which threw everybody off because he was literally in the middle of her flashback.
I know.
Right when she got out of the flashback. That's when she died.
Yep. And then she was about to die as well, but luckily there was a
vampire bat that was on the ground, and she stomped on it. It's like, and then that's when she got that's when she reached rank 10, and she was able to get a class change.
Yeah, luckily, right?
Luckily, yeah.
And
I thought it was gonna be like a time wizard, or I thought she was gonna get either like a time mage or like a white mage, maybe like with a resurrection kind of spell or whatever. But no, she got a regular, like, I guess night class. I guess same as
same as the other character.
Yeah.
But she puts work. She puts more work than her in her class.
She can at least lift her sword.
Yeah, exactly. And she gives the final blow on the gargoyle.
Yeah, she has another flashback.
Yes, another damn flashback.
On how Cavill taught her how.
Yes.
And she's like, aim above the rib cage so that way you could get the heart. It's just kind of irony is that you could actually see the ribs on the gargoyle. So, that makes it super easy. She just has to imagine where the heart would be.
But she wanted to make it more complicated. She wanted to look cooler.
Yeah, so she had her arm chopped off and she still went for the kill. And all that good stuff. And it's funny too because like Yotsuya, right when he was running through, he's like, oh, they're gonna need me, I'm the main character. But it turns out she already got the finishing blow.
Yeah, and then once he got there, he was like, the battle was over, and then they told her the news that Cavill is down there dying.
And he fell. Like, he literally just, like, without thinking, just ran, not took off his clothes. He phased his clothes out of existence with his powers or whatever, and then he dove in and saved her. use all of his MP, including all the MP that he got from the orc or gargoyle, sorry.
Yeah.
To heal out her wound and stuff.
Yeah.
Which looked gross.
Yes.
That's what I mentioned.
Looks super disgusting.
Looks like the heel looks really gross. But yeah, he saved.
Did we get another flashback?
Yes, we got a flashback of the tree.
Yes. I have no idea what this tree means.
It's supposed to represent. I don't know.
But yeah,
that episode was weird. It was all over the place.
And then, that's not even the end part is that they finally remember why they're there. That the main quest, for damn sake. They
were remembering all the quests before.
Yes.
Kill a goblin. What kind of goblin? Oh, this particular goblin. So it doesn't really matter what kind of goblin.
Yeah.
Find 2 settlements. Which settlements?
It doesn't matter.
They never specified. Fill in the village request.
But
wait, what request was that?
We don't know.
We don't know. So when we want to deliver the goods, they don't have to be the slaves, and that's where the episode ends.
Yeah, it's it was a mess.
It was a huge mess. All over the place. These flashbacks were just everywhere. I felt like half the episode was just probably filled with flashbacks.
I just want to compare, with Fire Force, when they had the flashbacks for the dead characters, it was quick. It was at least a second or two, and it's just a gag.
Yeah.
But with these flashbacks, I know they were for the characters, and one character that guard one, they want us to take us seriously, and I'm like, oh, do I really need to take seriously on guard one's death that you didn't even show me?
Yeah. So. Either way, hoping we're not gonna have to sit through that again with episode 8. So have to wait and see.
Yes, we will have to wait and see. And on to the
next episode. The sooner we do, the better. The Day I Became a God, episode 7. This one was great. This one's a great episode. We get the festival episode.
Yes.
The summer festival episode where Yota and friends, and my friends, I mean literally all the friends that we've been introduced so far. Yota's teammate in basketball, Yota's sister, Sora's senpai, Izanami, and the TV lady.
Yes. Surprisingly, she showed up.
She showed up, and I was kind of like, wait, if these are all kids, right? Does that technically make the TV lady their chaperone? I guess in the context of the episode, not really, because she's kind of like the TV personality that's super into the main character.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird because she's the only adult in her 20s maybe.
Yeah.
That's fair. But anyway, good times to come. All the characters, they all have a grandiose time.
Yeah.
Catching fish and stuff. Izanami, since the last episode we were able to kind of get her resolution and stuff. We see character growth in that, she actually enjoys what's going on.
That was great to see.
It honestly was, yeah.
She was more open. She was being she was nice, but more openly nice to everybody, and it's just I was like, oh, yes, anime. This is how you do character growth.
Honestly, yeah, and it was just a grand old time. Like I said, them catching fish, Yota and Odin them teaming up.
Yeah, tactically getting the penguin.
Yeah.
It's very cute. It has very humble moments, when you see other animes do festivals and stuff. And it was a festival episode until Yota and Izanami have their alone time. And Odin was doing some activity, and she wanted to show off to Yota, but he's not there. And it just pisses off Odin, and she just
you see the inkling of jealousy come across that we saw in the last episode, sort of.
Yeah, and she just runs off, and she's trying to get another guy and saying some obscure things to them. But she's so heated up that she needs to cool down. Yeah. And luckily enough, there was a cooling truck, just lightly open, right? And she just, take a squat, with her prizes, with her fish that she got, and penguin. But it closes and it just drives off.
Yeah, that's where we get our main conflict in this episode.
Yes.
And thankfully, everybody's already like wondering, like, hey, where did Odin go? It's like,
yeah.
Where's she go off to? Everybody's wondering, like, I don't know. I thought she was with you.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, because of the fact that she kind of made that scene where she's like, "Oh, I'm the virgin killer lolly. Let's go." That's what she said.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Because of that, like they were able to find trail of kind of like where she went, and they also found her candied apple and the penguin that she dropped. With tire tracks too.
Yes.
And because of the fact that there was a sleeping driver right next to where the truck was, the truck driver of that one was able to say, "Hey, yeah, this is where it's going. It's going towards Tokyo." Mm-hmm. And also, thankfully, Yota's teammate also has a motorcycle.
Yes. He has his own 2 wheels.
Yeah. So they were able to use the bike, and him and Yota were zooming on through the highway, trying to find where that refrigerated truck might be.
Yes, pulling a Fast and Furious moment.
Yep, and straight up they find it.
Yeah.
At first, they were trying to do the normal thing where they were like, okay, go in front of the truck.
Yeah.
Try to get his attention, try to signal, but the truck driver was just being annoyed, if anything, and just try to like
anyone would
switch on his switch between his high and low beams.
Yeah.
To just get him off the road, get him off the thing, and then they were like, oh shoot, he's about to shake us off. That's when we get the actual good flashback.
Yes, we get character development for Yota's best friend
mm-hmm.
and teammate of the basketball,
and how his legit dreams of being a pro basketball player was shattered because of an accident, a road crossing accident that happened, where he busted his knee from a car crash, and the doctors told him he could never play basketball again. Yeah,
very sad, very unfortunate. But obviously Yota being a good friend, he keeps him high spirits and not look down the dumps.
Yeah, and with that resolve, he said, "Hey, we're gonna do that jump.
Yes,
you're going to do my jump, and you're gonna jump from here to the truck.
Yes,
and."
Like, you're not doing the jump, we're doing the jump.
And then Yota also had like his own like mini kind of like recollection of kind of what happened with that.
Yeah.
That he messed up that jump when they needed him to do it for the basketball game, which funnily enough we brought up like, wait a minute, this might not have been legal in the first place.
Yeah, because they do kind of do like an assist jump kind of thing, and I was like,
kind of like in Lupin.
Yeah, like in Lupin. So I'm like, oh, okay. Whatever, anime.
Regardless, though, he didn't make the jump.
Yes.
So he's thinking, oh, I'm not gonna make this one either. But he said, know what? No, I'm doing it.
Yes.
He jumps, he lands,
yep.
And he goes across to the driver's side. He's like, no way! Get out of here, no!
Yeah, pull over!
Gets his attention, and they were able to open up, and thankfully Odin was okay.
Yes.
She was freezing like hell, but...
And the fish was fine.
The fish was fine! The fish made it.
And they were just in the nick of time.
They were able to make it in time for the fireworks.
Yes, the beautiful fireworks.
So I was just kind of joking, like, oh man, this probably took only like 10 minutes all around. But yeah, they were able to see the fireworks, and with that, 9 days remain until the end of the world.
Yes. But very cute episode.
Very cute episode. We had our little conflict go on too, and thankfully no one was hurt. Just great episode all around. Can't wait for more.
Yeah, same here. And on to the next anime. Not so happy in this one.
No!
We have Sigurdrifa, episode 7.
Yeah, so basically the follow-up to the tragedy that was to come, the last episode, is happening this episode.
Yes.
With all of the fallen Valkyries basically on our still living Valkyries' tails, they are not letting up. They're absolutely rocking our main character's shit. And Odin mentions Valhalla to the main chief general.
Yeah. Which, in North Mythology, when you mention Valhalla, that's like a sign, like, we're gonna die.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sign of great pride and, all that, but it's kind of the afterlife.
Yeah, exactly. So, when they're having their dogfights, and it's very intense.
Sonoka gets shot down.
Yes.
And Amatsuka has to catch her with their other plane, with her plane, and kind of guide her through so that she doesn't crash. And then meanwhile, Thor or the giant that goes by Thor,
Yes.
Literally lifts up his axe and just shoots out a giant beam that stretches across Japan.
Like, it reminded me of when Yugi summons Exodia. It just obliterated whatever was there.
Yeah, and right after Odin mentioned Valhalla, was the whole command was just completely wiped.
Yes.
Wiping out the majority of the forces, and as that whole thing was going through, all the other pillars around Japan are also attracted to that one particular pillar in Mount Fuji.
Yes.
So this was a losing battle. Like, this
Yes.
wasn't even, because this was like everything removed that you can think of as far as hope is concerned. Yeah, just throw that out the window.
Yeah.
We're not gonna win.
Yeah, this was a sign of full retreat. We had to back out. This battle was not winnable at this point.
Yeah.
And we get to our pink hair girl. She's recovering back, and she's like, "What happened? Are we winning, or like, what happened? Why am I here?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the whole team just brings up to speed. It was like, what the situation is happening. That they lost the command center, and there's still some Valkyries and all the allies still back in the pillar.
Yeah.
And so there's gonna be a rescue mission sent out there, but someone has to go. Who went, Robbie?
Amatsuka,
Amatsuka.
the last remaining Valkyrie that was originally in the team that Sonoka was a part of.
Yes.
She elected to go because she's the one that's past her prime already. There's like, what else is there for her afterward? So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be the one to go.
Yep. I'm gonna take the sacrifice, and they do a beautiful send off.
They do. Like, it's. I mean, obviously the anime kind of expected us to to anticipate that she's not going to be coming back. But I feel like even the characters probably knew. Like,
yeah,
they definitely were like, yeah.
It was a suicide mission.
Yeah.
But if you could do it, more power to you, and hopefully you can. And she gets her send off. She drinks beautiful whiskey, and her boys go into the pillar, knowing their fate. And the girls are waiting for her at the destination that they told her to meet up if she does come back. And
one plane does come back.
One plane does come back, and
it's not hers.
It is not hers. One of the Valkyries, and she had a message for our girl, and it's a necklace.
The locket that had her whole team.
Yes, aka symbolizing that she didn't make it.
Nope.
And that's how the episode ends.
It's
pretty
very
dark.
very somber ending. There's no sense of joy. If anything, this is a very, very sad episode.
Yes, and we just got introduced to her, but I'm gonna miss her.
Yeah, very much so. All right, now we move on to our next anime that is not so somber. I feel like that's kind of like a pattern. We're just kind of like shuffling back and forth between sad, not sad, sad, not sad.
Yeah.
Taisō-Zamurai, episode 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's in between.
It was a nice in between with a nice. Oh, I know why you said that. I just realized why.
Shut up.
Anyways, this is a very Rei-centric episode.
Yes.
With a heavy helping of our best friend.
Who?
BB.
Oh God.
Big Bird.
Yes.
Anyways, so it continues off from where we last left off. That Rei's birthday was supposed to happen right when Jotaro was supposed to go off to his big meet.
Yes.
Does this get talked about that much in this episode? Not really.
No, not really. We don't really get to see the meet. Because it's basically about Rei and how much she's
coping with the fact that Leo went off to quote unquote train. Jotaro is busy doing his athletic work and everything like that. Grandma is busy with the bar. So unfortunately, it's just her. She's
by herself on her birthday, which is no one wants to experience that.
Yeah,
it's pretty sad.
So she said, "Okay, you know what? I don't have to worry about groceries. I'm gonna get myself good old chicken from the Colonel, good old KFC."
Yeah, it's just her, so she could lounge around and just kick it back and whatever. And she's just chilling, and she was gonna clean up, and then she was like, "You know what? I'm not doing that either.
Oh no! And then that's when the most painful thing happens. She stubbed her pinky toe.
Oh, yes.
Right at the corner. It's like, oh no!
Everyone felt that when that scene happened.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there was still a few pieces of chicken left.
Yes.
And Big Bird has a tendency of cleaning up.
Yes.
As we saw in the scene previous in this episode, he picked up a piece of broccoli that fell and he gobbled it up.
Yeah, because once it's on the floor, it's my pickings.
Yeah, and same thing kind of happened with the piece of chicken that fell.
Yes.
Right when Rei hit her toe, and he was like, "All right, gobble up." Ate it. He's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing!"
Yeah, this is so good. I wonder what it.
He's about to eat that second piece, but right when he saw that bird, oof.
I think Big Bird put two and two, and he was eating his own kind.
Yeah. So it kind of keeled over, and foam coming out of the mouth and everything. And
BB died.
No, he didn't die. Rei picked him up and, quote unquote, bicycled her way to the animal hospital.
Yes.
And when she did, brought him over. Doctor's like, okay, what happened? Okay, we'll do what we can.
Yes, but it's not looking good. I think BB was gonna die.
No, he's not. Okay, Big Bird, he ate chicken, and this bird is not supposed to eat other birds.
That's cannibalism.
He didn't know better, and so Rei was of course very, very upset, very just like, how could she have done this to her best friend? She thinks back on when Big Bird was first introduced.
Yes,
and he looked cute, right? He looked adorable, right?
Totally. The Big Bird licks Rei like a dog.
Yes. So originally, Rei's grandma first got Big Bird, from her friend that works in South America, that raises exotic birds, and it was like a weird looking bird, but he came out from the little cage and
it was to cope with the passing of her mother. So,
exactly.
So there is a big significance to Big Bird. I know I've been joking around the whole time about Big Bird, but Big Bird does play a big part in this episode. And
it has a big heart. Yes,
it has a big heart, and Rei's just so upset that she just doesn't go home. She just wanders off, and
Leo shows up.
Yes.
Right when Jotaro came back home, and
and they notice that Rei's not there. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Where the hell's Rei? This is her birthday. Why is she not here?"
Yeah, and that's when Jotaro noticed. Wait a minute, Rei called me, and Rei even called her grandma too. Yeah, everybody was just like, "Where's Rei? Where should she be?" Thankfully, though, Grandma's got the connection.
Dude, Grandma's a G. I didn't know
Grandma's got the connection. She activated like a code or something like that.
Yeah, Grandma and her employee, the gal girl, and I bet they got the hookup of these Ikebukuro gangs to go find her. And it's funny how they build it up. They're like, it looked like they were about to go kill her or something. Yeah. But they end up calling up Grandma and the gal, and they're like, "Oh, we found her. Yeah, she's right here." And it's so funny. But it's very cool, like Grandma cool like that. And that's when Jotaro and Leo show up, and they're like, "Oh my god, we were so worried. How could you not tell us or anything?" And then that's when Rei opens up and is like, "How could you guys leave me by myself? I'm a kid, damn it."
And that was the first time that she actually opened herself up to the fact that she's a kid.
Yeah, she's a kid, and I guess because she looks up to her mother so much, she wanted to be her mother. She wanted to be the best, she wanted to be as her mother, being nice, to do everything. And that's when Grandma tells her, is like, "Hey, your mom was the best in front of you, but she had her moments too. She wasn't like superstar.
She was a slob back home.
Yeah, whenever she was tired or when she wanted to vent, she vented.
She'd yelled at your dad, and she even slapped your dad."
Basically gives Rei a lesson. It's like, hey, you're a kid. Be a kid, and you can lash out. Be a human too. You're not supposed to be Miss Perfect. No one's expecting you to be, so have your moments. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful message, I think.
She even confessed, "I don't even know how to ride my bike." You never had the time to. You had this big meet going up, and I never learned how to ride a bike, which explained why she just kind of had her bike and just kind of walked with it.
And I forgot about that. Yeah, it was really beautiful. You know, just like, you know, finally Jotaro to make time for her. You know, because he's so focused in the gymnastics. It's easy to forget yourself when you're working so hard that you forget about the small things like family and like yourself at some point.
Speaking of family, they were also looking to know where did BB go.
Yeah.
And that's when they're like, hey, you know, I just let's animal hospital, let's go check him out. And it turns out he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Yay.
Oh man, but yeah, so Big Bird is great. You know, just gotta make sure he doesn't cannibalize his own kind anymore.
Yeah. No, jokes aside, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, and finally Jotaro gets the time to teach Rei how to ride her bike.
Yes, and she's already a pro.
She's already a pro. She takes Big Bird on a legit ride, and we got the ET moment.
Yeah, flying through the sky, and that's how the episode ends.
It was all around beautiful. Yeah, it was a great episode.
Yeah, it was honestly, you know, giving major character development for Rei, and I guess BB too.
Yeah, and Leo comes back too, so that's really nice. I was expecting like a good couple episodes, like no Leo, so
yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
Yes, and on to the next anime. We have Talentless Nana. Episode 6, and we obviously get left off where last week the little girl finding the picture of Nana killing
the future man is still dead.
Yes, and Nana's like, all right, if she's putting two together, I'm killing her right now. If she's not putting 2 and 2, I'll kill her later.
Yeah.
And
thankfully we get the later option.
Yes, because you know that.
So Michiru is still alive.
Yes, Michiru is still alive, and she's just, you know, cute, innocent. She doesn't want to believe that Nana's a murderer. Yeah.
and we get the what was it? The funeral.
Yes, which is surprising.
Yeah.
This is the first time we get a funeral for a student, right?
Well, because that's the first time that we actually see the body.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Because Nanao Nakajima, he fell off, so his body's, you know, in the ocean.
And the other one got buried.
The other one got not buried, but drowned.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, that's true. I am. My bad on that.
I guess in this episode, we finally get introduced. I guess we finally solidify on Nana's main mode of killing. Yeah. Because like the first 2 kills that she got were just kind of all situational. They had nothing to do with her arsenal or like what she you know was gonna do or whatever. So this is the first time where we actually get to see her main thing, which is her needles. Yes. We saw it in the last episode, but this episode also. We get to see an abundant supply of that.
Yes, she has a lot of poison needles.
But yeah, the main subject of this episode is a pair, actually. One of Shinji, who is apparently a necromancer who can control the dead.
Yes.
Which blew everybody away because the future guy was able to wake up and everything. And I was like, what?
What the hell? And there was another character that also got introduced. Her name is Yuka. Which is they're kind of a couple, and she tries to defend like, no, he's not weird. I'm sorry. He's a good guy. But yeah, the reason that he brought the future guy alive because our main guy, I forget his name, Koya.
Yeah, Kyoya.
Kyoya. He wants to do an autopsy on like how did he die and stuff. So you know, Shuji. You know, tries to help him out.
Yeah, Shinji.
Oh, my bad. Shinji tries to help him out with it, but everyone's just freaked out. It's like, oh, that's gross. How can you control the dead like that? Put him back in this casket. And, you know, he was like, all right, fine. You know, we won't do it here in front of everybody. And, yeah, this whole episode, we find out Nana's next target, you know, is Shinji. And, and yeah, we get more backstory between these two, and that we know that Shinji and Yuka are a couple, and you know they find him in the middle of the night. Nana's like on patrol.
Yeah, like she's literally just like scoping them out, trying to see like when her next available like window of opportunity is to get to assassinate him.
Yes.
And yeah, the next day. She actually like she straight up she fakes her being sick. She's taken to the infirmary, and as she's by herself in the infirmary, she runs to the dorm. She finds out that Shinji's not waking up or anything like that. He's just kind of sick in bed. Goes to his room, gets her poison needle, sticks it into his neck, and then like just kills him silently.
Yes.
Runs back, tries to go back to the infirmary, but notices there's a cat that's like kind of stuck in the
gutter or something.
How'd the cat get there? That's the question. Because I thought this island had like nobody.
Yeah, no wildlife, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, looking too deep into that, but yeah, Nana was as Kyoya and Michiru are like trying to go to the infirmary, check up on Nana and how she's doing. They find out that she's not in bed, but she's actually stuck outside, and she's like, "Hey, I found a cat."
Yeah, so Koya and Yuka, and Nana asks them for their help, and she's like, "Yuka, use your super strength that you have." And she's like, "Oh no, I can't. It's kind of situational because right now I'm sick and I can't use it."
Yeah, if I have cat allergies. Oh man, I'm sneezing. Oh, I can't use my strength. Oh man, that's a weird weakness. But oh well, looks like I gotta kill her. So she goes to her room. Nana goes to Yuka's room to say like, "Oh, I gotta kill you."
Yeah, sorry.
But Yuka gets saved by Shinji.
What? But she stabbed him with a needle earlier.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
How is it possible? Well, it turns out it wasn't actually Shinji that was the necromancer.
What was it?
It was Yuka!
Son of a...
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Yuka was the actual necromancer, and it turned out Shinji was never alive in the first place.
He's actually dead.
We have a pain scenario from Naruto.
Yes, great comparison.
It's like, wait a minute, I thought you were the leader of the Akatsuki. He's actually the dead body that passed away 10 years ago. I'm actually the true head honcho. I'm controlling his body. Yeah.
I think it was a cool moment, like to see that Yuka's actually the necromancy itself.
Yeah.
And then we get their backstory of how Shinji actually died. And why she's like, taking control of him and stuff. She's pretty crazy, honestly. She's a bit loco in the head.
Yeah.
That she's obsessed with Shinji and stuff. And Nana's in trouble. She's like pinned down on the floor and she's in a tight pickle. And that's how the episode ends.
So we don't know exactly what's gonna happen here, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yes, and I'm curious how she's gonna get out of this situation myself.
All right, now on to the next episode. We got Dragon Quest Dai's Adventure, episode 7.
Yes.
So on the last episode, Dai was in a little bit of a pickle because he gets shot by our new friend Mom. Oh no!
And he died, right?
No, because it turns out that what Mom shot him with was actually a healing spell.
What?
From the gun. Wow. Can you believe it? Guns actually healing people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's like Anna from Overwatch.
Yeah. So Dai comes back, fully energized and everything, and he has a second wind. He goes in and to help out even more, Pop gives Mom a little bit of a spell, which I think goes by the name of Crack.
Yeah.
And loads it to her gun, shoots Crocodine's arm.
Yeah.
Freezes it, and Dai goes for the slash.
Yes, leaving the Crocodile King a mark to remember Dai
for the rest of his life, a scar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he makes his full retreat.
And
that's good because Dai was already at his limit and he needed to catch a breath.
Yep. And with that being said, we get our heroes, Pop and Dai, get introduced to the actual village itself.
Yes.
And it turns out that Mom's mom, Mom's mom and dad are actually party members of Avon.
Yes. So they knew straight away who Avon was when they mentioned his name, and that they respect Avon. He was a good hero in their time, and just Mom's having a great flashbacks of her adventures being the priest, And her husband being a fighter.
Now, obviously, the village wanted to know what was Avon up to, since these are, of course, the disciples of Avon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dai went the route of not telling them what happened with Avon, because he didn't want them to worry. He didn't want them to be depressed or anything like that. So he told them Avon's doing well. He's as lively as ever.
Yeah. I didn't like that choice, but I understand where that's coming from.
Yeah.
It's not to bring people's hopes down.
But unfortunately, that intent kind of backfired in a sense.
Oh yes.
Because Dai is still kind of in a pickle, because he still does not know magic all that well.
No, and when not at all means zero.
Yeah. So he had to get help from somebody. So he goes to the best mage in the village to seek help of how to wield magic. And the mage is, he was obviously said, I can't teach you what Avon can teach you, because Avon's much, much better at all of this stuff than I am.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you need my help, kid?
Unfortunately, he had to spill the beans. He said, okay, don't tell the village I told you this, but Avon's dead. I was only his pupil for 3 days. I legitimately did not have that much time to even learn much about magic at all.
I know one technique, and I don't want to be the one trick hero.
Yeah.
And I guess Dai spoke really loudly, because that's when our mom overheard that, and she was just obviously
she was crushed.
Yeah, she was heartbroken, because she knew Avon personally when she was a little kid, and now we also find out that Avon gives her the gun.
Yeah, Avon was the one that gave her the gun. Told her if you want to protect your family and everything like that, you gotta take the way of the gun.
And I like that scene too, because it shows how genuine how nice she is. She's like, no, but I don't want to use weaponry. I want to just love them and care for them. And then Avon's straight up's like, sometimes that's good, but at the same time, you're gonna have to actually defend these people, the ones you really love. So don't think of it as as a murder weapon. Think of it as defending the people you love. And it's like, oh, that's a good message.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So not all weapons are bad, and it depends on whose hands is on.
The context, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good lesson, and obviously still heartbroken that
it happened. Yeah.
Avon's dead.
Yeah, so pretty much for the rest of the episode, Mom doesn't actually show up at all. Pop and Dai were wondering, hey, what's going on? And it even sparked an idea to Dai. It's like, hey, Pop, I think you like Mom. It's like, no, I don't.
She's gross.
Yeah, so of course our heroes has to leave, because they want to help Brahmo's kingdom. They want to help the people of that kingdom and everything, with the demons and everything going on, and they had to leave.
Yeah.
But with that, Mom's mom mentions that, hey, you want to help our heroes, you go on ahead with them, because when it was time for me to go, I went.
Yes.
Everybody in the village has your back. You're gonna go, and so everybody in the village kind of gives their cheers, including a very deeply voiced midget. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Oh my god.
There was a kid in the village that was straight up at a super deep voice, and I was just it threw me off. But anyway, they gave their blessings, and they told Mom to go on, chase your dreams, help with the crew, and with that, we get our Misty to our Pokemon team.
He means Mom joins the party.
Mom joins the party with Pop and Dai and everything. Meanwhile, Crocodile is still plotting his revenge and seeing how he could be able to thwart them.
With the help of another king, Zabara?
The Lump Wizard.
Yes.
I'm just calling him the Lump Wizard. Because Lump Wizard shows up in the episode, and he's apparently the messenger to the Dark King himself.
Yeah.
Who is able to easily go through the barrier that Avon put out himself. He was able to kind of sneak in, and also sneak into Crocodile. Mentions you got bested by a kid.
Loser.
So we don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but hey, we got our team, we got our party,
and on to the adventure. And with that, we have our last anime we're going to talk about, and we save the best for last. Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 7, also known as Sorcery Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this episode does not disappoint.
Nope.
We see Sensei in full action. He brings his A game and his coolness to the table.
Yeah, so the volcano curse that absolutely destroyed, like literally burned everybody in that little cafe and everything, comes in to basically quote unquote finish the job and everything. And he thought he was the shit.
Yes.
He thought he was super hot shit. He thought he was like he thought he was like, burning them left and right.
Yeah.
It's like making a volcano appear from the wall. Yeah, he's cool. He burned down like legit like a huge chunk of land.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got you. I punched you right in the gut.
Easy.
And then you blew up in flames.
Easy money.
I saw that happen. Well, guess what? Gojo's like, you didn't touch me. You never touched me. And you want to know why? Here, pull out your hand. Pull out your hand. Pull out your hand. Let me see. He does that little like romance like anime hand holding thing where they compare hand sizes, and then like he kind of like interlocks his fingers with the other guy, and he's like, you see this? This is called infinity. I'm like a magnet, and I've wielded infinity. So you can't even touch me.
Yeah.
Even if you want to, you can't touch me.
Sensei is so cool, man. Honestly, it's like he's so cocky, but like he has every right to be cocky, because when he does that, that's when he starts wailing on this curse, and it's so beautiful to watch. Woo!
Yeah, it is.
Came back,
Wu has come back once more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it of it because it's amazing.
Yes, the animation of this fight is so, and the camera angles too. Oh my god, it's so beautiful, boy.
He kicked that curse like left and right, and like through the woods and everything. Eventually, kicking him to the water, to the lake and everything.
Yeah, cooling him down,
and he was just like not having it at all. So he's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna bring my domain in this.
But before he did that, Sensei, I don't know how he's so fast that he brings in our main guy. He's like, all right, man. This is a teaching moment. I'm gonna bring you here.
I know you're enjoying Lord of the Rings over there. I get it. But come on. I got something to show you. You're doing great. Just come on. I got something to show you.
This is a good loading moment.
Yeah.
he was so into the show.
Oh yes, yes. And they parodied the greatest scene in that first Lord of the Rings. Anyways, they actually explained the whole domain part of what these curses do.
Basically, it's like, have you guys ever seen Fate or like know of like the reality Marvel style Noble Phantasms? It's basically like that.
Yes. So, and I love how they explain it too. It's like, oh, so it's like a power boost, like
in buffs, yeah,
in RPGs.
Yeah.
Cool. And this volcano curse is just going all out. Honestly, like he's super cool too, like how his powers are showing off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but he's fighting Sensei. He's kind of screwed.
He's like, okay, so there's multiple ways on how to outdo this. There's 3 ways. One is to basically use your own curse abilities to counter counter whatever he's hitting you with, which is ineffective.
Yeah.
Because you're using up a lot more energy than you need to. Second is to run away.
Yeah.
Right when the domain kind of comes in, it kind of works sometimes, but most of the time it fails.
It's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it's really hard to do. Third, best way to do it: make your own, counter it, and literally eat up the other one. And so the way he does it was just.
Prior to that, I think the most funny part was he's not that hard. He's an easy.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he was so much toying with this curse.
Yeah.
Just ticking him off.
So, yeah. He straight up just said like, oh yeah, this is a weak curse. And Yuji's like, wait, what? This guy looks way stronger than all the other ones we fought before.
Yeah, he looks stronger than the guy that killed me. Yeah.
Yeah, and he straight up like, and Gojo's like, okay, So yeah, my domain takes off his bandage, reveals the most beautiful eyes you've ever seen in the whole show, and straight up summons Infinity, the domain.
Oh my god. It is so badass. Like, it's just like, I imagine like Doctor Strange, like the moment when he goes to the dimension worlds, like that, but like even better. Like, honestly, like the animation of it is like a dark void, but very beautiful, like Sensei in his eyes.
And he just straight up just beheads him.
Yes, easy.
With
ease.
Curse. Yeah, beheads the curse and is like interrogating him. But unfortunately, as he's interrogating him, while he's interrogating him, the other curses from before were looking at the whole situation. They're like, yeah, of course, come on. We knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, one of the, I guess, the Forest Guardian spirit kind of looking guy, or woman, I don't know, saves the volcano dude, because that's their partner,
Yeah. And summons like a whole bunch of flowers that look super beautiful and everything.
It distracts both Sensei.
It distracts them both, but like thankfully Gojo was able to kind of like knock himself out, knock himself back into his senses. And Yuji gets attacked, obviously, because he's an inexperienced one. Almost got eaten by a tree. But thankfully, he was able to save him. But unfortunately, the curses all ran away. They got away.
Yeah, and we after almost the episode ends, and we get introduced to our main villain, kind of, which I think I have his name. Mahito,
yes. Mahito, and they announced that the date that we're going to incapacitate Gojo while also recruiting Yuji/Sukuna is gonna be October 31st.
Wait, isn't that
Halloween?
Oh,
baby.
Man!
The light of ghouls and gas.
Yes, which also in mythology, that is when the curses and demons are the most powerful.
Yup, and and then also going back to Gojo and Yuji, of course Gojo gave Yuji that life lesson that he needed, and he mentions, okay, so in a month, I'm gonna need you to basically be able to fight that thing that I just fought. I'm gonna need you and your crew to be as strong as those, as strong enough to fight those guys. Yeah, and that's where the episode ends. So all around, again, this is the reason why we saved this one for last always, because this is amazing.
Oh yes, most definitely.
It was a great, fantastic episode. A lot of beautiful animation.
Yes.
Just again, like Gojo being our
beautiful
favorite character. Yeah. It was just beautiful. All around.
Oh my god, I love this anime already.
Yeah.
The comedies.
Oh, comedy spot on.
The
action spot. And
drama, tension, all that.
Yes, so
this is what we needed. I think this is probably what I was missing from God of High School the most. I mean, like God of High School was a solid anime.
Yeah.
It had solid fight scenes, but I feel like this one was just way more well-rounded.
Oh, most definitely. I think
and I could wrap my head around it because there's definitely a lot of moments where like God of High School's doing a lot of great, crazy shit.
Yeah, great animation,
but it's a lot of it's very confusing.
A lot of it's all over the place, and this one, it has a story. And
it feels grounded.
And
you
have, concentrated characters.
I feel like that show in general should have been expanded.
Oh yeah, I feel like
24. With those 12 episodes, expanded to.
Yeah,
I think so.
For sure, yeah.
Because now that I look back on it, it's like, oh man, like the last, especially the last episodes, they were very convoluted.
Yeah.
But that wraps up our anime.
Yeah.
For this week.
Yes, and we unfortunately we only have one piece of news that we want to bring up.
Yes.
This is the only news, game news.
Yes.
Is that Sega, based off of Atlus's huge success story with Persona 4 Golden on PC.
Yes.
They're super duper interested in prioritizing porting more Atlus games onto PC.
Yes.
And that of course brings
remakes.
Porting, remakes, all that, the whole shebang.
Yeah, the whole shebang. So if you never played Persona 1 or 2, 3, the Shin Megami Tensei games,
this might be your chance.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's I think I forgot who mentioned it, but it's kind of it fits more perfectly because of the fact that Sega is now focusing less on the arcade market because of the global pandemic going on and everything. So It kind of fits more with Sega's business model. They're adapting.
Yeah. Oh yes, most definitely. And for me personally, I don't know a lot about Atlus games, so them doing this is a good opportunity for people like me that did not have an opportunity to play these, what most people say, classics.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this and to just see what they are planning on porting and remastering.
Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah.
I think in general, I'm looking forward to like remakes or remasters.
Yes.
I'm hoping that we get a definitive edition of Persona 3 personally, because Persona 3 is a classic of a game, but if depending on what features you're looking for, is going to be a very different game depending on your definition of what you think Persona 3 is. And I feel like that's kind of a daunting task, especially if you want to recommend that game to anybody, because you're like, okay, do you want to prioritize visual novel style graphics, or do you want to prioritize normal models, but like the gameplay is like not the best.
Interesting.
So it honestly, I just kind of hope we can get a good mishmash of the two and combine that into one actual solid definitive experience.
So you think that'll be like their first game they will bring over?
I don't think it might be their first game. I think if anything, this is going to be its own project. Do you think so?
I think that would be the first thing that came, because 4 did well.
Yeah.
So I think 3 would be next, if anything.
Yeah. The only reason I say 3 because obviously the dance game.
The dancing games, yeah. And 3 has not gotten a solid, has not really gotten an actual legit port since the PS3. No, PS3 because of the PlayStation 2 classics. And then I guess like, PSP also. But yeah, not on the modern hardware, no.
Okay. So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
Exciting
Super
news.
Duper. And with that concludes this week's episode of the Anime Squad podcast. Be sure to, of course, like the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you guys like our stuff.
Yes.
And share the video to whoever you guys know if you think we're super duper cool.
Yeah.
And like always, my name is Robbie.
And this is Omar.
And this is Dave.
And we'll see you guys on the next week's episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.